You may have already noticed that your dog acts differently when you need to leave the house. Maybe he starts following you around the entire house when he realizes you're getting ready to leave, or you come back from work and find destroyed objects, pee in the wrong place, or a clearly distressed animal. The truth is that millions of dogs around the world suffer when they're left alone, and many pet parents don't know exactly what to do to help. Today, we're going to explore what really happens in your dog's mind when you leave the house and reveal 10 practical steps that can completely transform this experience for him. We'll explain the difference between being bored and being anxious, how dogs interpret their owner's absence from an instinctive and emotional point of view, and identify classic symptoms like excessive barking, object destruction, apathy, loss of appetite, or peeing outside the proper place. The role of attachment and routine in the animal's emotional security is fundamental in this process. Here on the Dr. Doug the Dog channel, you always find accurate and updated information about the well-being of our best friends. Prepare yourself to discover how small changes can create a more balanced and happy dog. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your dog reacts the way he reacts when left alone and how to implement strategies that really work. Let's go. Step 1. Understanding what the dog feels. Let's start by clarifying something fundamental that many pet parents confuse. There's a big difference between a dog that gets bored when alone and one that develops real separation anxiety. Boredom manifests when the animal simply doesn't have enough stimuli and might chew a shoe for lack of something to do. Separation anxiety, however, is a more intense emotional condition where the dog experiences a real state of panic when he realizes he'll be left alone. From an instinctive point of view, dogs are naturally social animals that evolved to live in groups. When their owner leaves, the canine brain can interpret this as abandonment by the pack, activating a stress response. Classic symptoms include excessive barking that can last for hours, destruction focused on doors where the owner left, loss of appetite, apathy upon the owner's return, and accidents in inappropriate places. The role of attachment and routine is crucial, as dogs that develop very intense bonds tend to suffer more. Step number 2. Identify your dog's type of loneliness. Not every reaction to loneliness is the same, and correctly identifying your dog's level of distress is essential for choosing the right approach. Mild loneliness is generally characterized by boredom or lack of adequate mental stimulation. In these cases, the dog might mess with some objects or simply stay still waiting, but without signs of real desperation. Moderate separation anxiety already presents more evident symptoms like intermittent barking, escape attempts, excessive panting in the first few minutes, and repetitive behaviors like licking paws. Severe anxiety is characterized by intense destructive behaviors, desperate escape attempts that can result in injuries, continuous vocalization, excessive drooling, trembling, and in extreme cases, stress-related vomiting. To observe and classify your dog's behavior, start by filming the first 30 minutes after your departure on different days. Observe if the behaviors repeat, if they intensify over time, or if they decrease when the dog gets used to it. This assessment will determine if you can solve it with simple techniques. Step 3. Create a calm goodbye ritual. One of the biggest mistakes pet parents make is turning the moment of departure into an emotionally charged event. When you leave, making a big deal, giving lots of kisses, speaking in an affectionate tone, you're inadvertently signaling that your departure is something special and worrying. This intensifies the dog's anxiety because he perceives that something important is happening. The correct strategy is to transform your departure into something completely neutral and routine. Start practicing short and progressive absences, beginning with just 2 or 3 minutes away from home and gradually increasing. During these simulations, leave without making any kind of special goodbye. Simply grab your keys and leave as if you were going to get something from the yard. When you return, ignore the dog for a few minutes before greeting him normally. The power of consistency here is fundamental because the dog needs to learn that your departure and return always follow the same predictable pattern. This predictability reduces anxiety because it eliminates the surprise element that activates the alert state. Step 4. Create stimuli and distractions. The environment you leave prepared for your dog can make a huge difference in the quality of the experience during your absence. Toys stuffed with treats or kibble are especially effective because they combine mental stimulation with food reward, keeping the focus occupied for extended periods. Appropriate chew toys and food puzzle-type games create challenges that distract the canine mind from focusing on your absence. Familiar scents work as powerful emotional anchors. A shirt you wore recently, a blanket with your scent, or some cloths with your perfume scattered around the house can significantly reduce the animal's cortisol levels. Calming sounds like classical music developed for dogs. White noise or recordings of nature sounds can mask external noises that could cause unnecessary alerts. It's important to understand that not all distractions work for all dogs. Leaving the television on all day doesn't help if your dog doesn't have the habit of paying attention to the screen. The secret lies in observing which stimuli really capture your animal's attention. Step 5. Be careful with alone time. There's a healthy limit to how long a dog can stay alone, and exceeding this limit can cause serious behavioral problems. Healthy adult dogs can generally do well for 6 to 8 hours, but this varies significantly with age and individual temperament. Puppies up to 6 months old shouldn't be left alone for more than 2 to 3 hours due to the frequent need to pee and greater emotional vulnerability. Senior dogs may also need shorter intervals due to health and comfort issues. For pet parents who work away all day, some strategies can minimize the impact of prolonged absences. Hiring a pet sitter for a midday visit, using doggy daycare services a few times a week, or sharing care with trusted neighbors can break up very long periods of loneliness. Technologies like interactive cameras that allow you to talk to your dog and release treats remotely are becoming valuable tools. Small breaks during lunch, even if they're just 15 minutes for a quick greeting, can make a significant psychological difference. Step 6. Create a safe environment. The physical space where your dog spends time alone directly influences his emotional well-being. Creating a safe corner means establishing a fixed, comfortable, and quiet place where he can take refuge when feeling insecure. This space should include his favorite bed or cushion, access to fresh water, and be away from windows with a lot of street movement that could cause unnecessary agitation. Adequate lighting is more important than many pet parents imagine. Very dark environments can increase anxiety, while too much natural light can overstimulate. Soft and constant lighting helps keep the dog calm. Temperature also deserves special attention. Anxious dogs tend to pant and may feel even more stressed in very hot environments. A serious mistake many pet parents make is punishing behaviors caused by anxiety when they return home. If you arrive and find destroyed objects, punishing the dog at that moment will only increase the anxiety associated with your return, creating a vicious cycle. Instead, simply clean up without drama and focus on implementing preventive strategies. Step 7. Strengthen the bond when you're home. The quality of time you spend together is much more important than quantity. Many pet parents think they need to be glued to their dog all the time when they're home to compensate for the hours of absence. But this can actually intensify emotional dependence. The secret lies in creating moments of genuine and meaningful connection. Mindful walks, where you pay full attention to your dog, enormously strengthen the bond between you. Short training sessions of 5 to 10 minutes with basic commands or new tricks stimulate his mind and create positive communication. Structured play, like fetch, tug of war, or hide and seek with treats, involves both physical and mental exercise. Physical affection is also fundamental, but should be offered when the dog is calm, not when he's agitated asking for attention. Positive reinforcement before and after your absences is especially powerful. When you're preparing to leave, you can give a special treat. associating your departure with something good. The balance between independence and affection means teaching that he is loved, but also capable of being fine alone. Step 8. Teach emotional independence. Training emotional independence is like teaching your dog to become emotionally more mature and self-confident. Simple commands like stay, wait, and relax are powerful tools for this. Start training the stay in easy situations, asking him to stay still while you move away just a few steps within the same room. Gradually increase the distance and time until you can leave his field of vision for a few minutes without him becoming desperate. The wait command can be practiced at meal times, asking him to wait a few seconds before releasing the food. This teaches self-control and patience. A very effective practice is leaving your dog alone even when you're home. Start by closing him in a room for 5 minutes while you're in another, then gradually increase. Reducing excessive attention dependence means strategically ignoring excessive attention-seeking behaviors. If your dog comes asking for affection in an agitated way, wait for him to calm down before responding. Always reward calmness and ignore agitation, but do this consistently so he understands which behavior brings positive results. Step 9. Evaluate medical and emotional causes. Sometimes, what we interpret as sadness or separation anxiety may have roots in physical health problems that need to be investigated. Chronic pain, digestive discomfort, hormonal problems, or nutritional deficiencies can manifest symptoms that seem purely behavioral. That's why it's fundamental for a veterinarian to evaluate your dog if anxiety behaviors appeared suddenly or intensified without apparent cause. Signs like sudden appetite changes, alterations in sleep patterns, excessive compulsive behaviors, or apathy even when you're present may indicate underlying medical issues. When physical causes are ruled out, help from a professional behaviorist or trainer specialized in positive methods becomes very valuable. These professionals can identify nuances in behavior that go unnoticed by pet parents, as well as create personalized behavioral modification plans. Behavioral therapy for dogs works using desensitization techniques to change negative emotional associations. It's important to understand that dogs' physical and mental health are completely interconnected. A dog with chronic anxiety can develop digestive or immune system problems. Step 10. Transform the moment of loneliness into learning. The dog that learns to adequately handle loneliness develops much more than just tolerance for your absences. He becomes a more balanced, self-confident, and resilient animal in various life situations. This emotional self-regulation ability improves behaviors in other areas, reducing excessive barking in general, decreasing destructive tendencies even when you're present, and increasing his ability to handle changes without panicking. The transformation process doesn't happen overnight, and it's important to have realistic expectations about the time needed. Genuine behavioral changes in dogs usually take from a few weeks to a few months to consolidate, depending on the animal's age, how long the problem has existed, and consistency in applying techniques. Real progress is noticeable in small incremental improvements. Maybe in the first week, you notice he stops barking 5 minutes earlier than before, or that destruction decreased. The most important final reinforcement is understanding that true love for your dog sometimes means teaching him emotional independence. You're offering him the opportunity to develop self-confidence. Going back to the question that started our conversation, yes, many dogs get sad when left alone, but you have all the power to change this reality. Each small habit we implement daily builds the emotional foundation of happier, safer, and more balanced dogs. The techniques we explored today are tested strategies that have already transformed the lives of thousands of dogs and their owners. The best gift you can give your dog isn't being with him all the time. It's teaching him to be happy and safe even when you're not around. This is the true demonstration of responsible love. If this video brought valuable information, share it with other pet parents who might be going through the same situation. And leave in the comments how your dog reacts when you leave the house, because your experience can help other members of our community.